I cannot believe we've done it. We have hit 10,000 subscribers, and honestly, I would have never believed we could have hit 10,000, let alone in a year, so being here feels like a dream.
We are extremely grateful to you boomers and all the support you've given us. And to celebrate, we thought we'd do a special live stream where we make Korean barbecue together. We don't have a specific day yet, but it'll be sometime before August.
But enough about us. Welcome to Necro News, the show where we cover the hottest gaming news from the last week. This week we've got details on an impressive new Witcher 3 mod, TF2's Comic finally getting updated, and new PAL plushies.
Look at this thing. Doesn't he look depressed? But anyway, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with the latest gaming news every week, and let's get right into the first story. Our first story is about a mod released for The Witcher 3, which is apparently one of the best Western RPGs ever created. I wouldn't know though since I have never played it, but Geralt is hot.
Hotter than Halcyon?
Video game Geralt?
Yeah.
Seek your bedroll when you are ready, but do not expect much sleep.
Nah.
You simp. Anyway, it doesn't matter because now you can even be Halcyon. Or at least make a character similar to him, as The Witcher has had a surprise mod that allows for complete character customization. Not only can you be a fully customizable Witcher, you can either be female or male.
Yeah, but a female Geralt's voice would be weird, you might be thinking. And yes, he'd probably be correct. Thankfully, the mod also changes and adopts all of Geralt's animations and voice lines to a female body.
You think universals exist as real and distinct entities, or only as mental constructs?
Now, I'm sure you're thinking, oh, that's pretty cool, but whatever. But wait, there's more. You see, the mod also adds an entirely new magic combat system specifically for the sorceress class, which, yes, you can be with this mod. And this allows any spells that you use to get better the more that you use them.
But because modders are literally God's gift, they continue to add even more stuff. The mod creator Nikki CH340 even went so far as to add an entire quest line for the sorceress, allowing them to unlock new spells.
Now the mod is up on Nexus Mods and, as noted, is very impressive, especially given the fact that it has essentially stretched The Witcher 3 modding capabilities to the absolute limit. And now I'm actually considering playing the series.
You haven't even beaten Skyrim.
I'm working on it.
After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait.
It's funny how a phrase from a game's commentary can transcend being a meme and become an accurate feeling for an entire community. Team Fortress 2 fans, as a whole, are used to waiting years for things and they just keep hoping that it'll be worth the wait.
I mean, look at what happened with the botting situation. 2 months ago, they'd be like, yeah, I hope they do something about it, but I won't hold my breath.
And such is the case with the Team Fortress 2 comic, which, honestly, I had totally forgot existed. The comic was supposed to be a 7-issue series, with the 7th issue being the only unreleased one, and the 6th issue being released 7 fucking years ago. So, as you can imagine, no one thought it would ever get finished, because when has Valve ever finished anything? Can Valve even finish his wife?
Can you?
Wow, actually rude. Fuck you.
Anyway, to continue a seemingly ongoing gamer trend of fuck it, we'll do it ourselves, a bunch of community members formed a group with the goal of making their own issue number 7. One of the members went so far as to send an email to Jay Pinkerton, one of the writers of the comic, to see if he'd be involved, or at least provide some story information of the missing 7th issue.
Instead, Jay revealed that the comic was actually alive and being made. Quote, just so you know, the same team that made the first 6 have been working on the 7th issue off and on for a while now. We're doing it in between projects. The script is finished and is being drawn as we speak. No promises when it'll be released, but it is being worked on.
He then attached a sneak peek of the first page, fully drawn and colored, and a bit of the script. Now, there was some doubt to the legitimacy of the email when it became largely public. However, Eric Wolpaw, one of Valve's most prominent writers, posted to Twitter that it was indeed not a hoax.
Well, if you're a TF2 fan, you're eating well, aren't you? You got your botting issues worked on, you got your comic getting finished. I don't think Valve has cared this much about TF2 since the Man vs. Machine update. Really, the only thing left to wait on is that Memory Hold's second heavy update, but I somehow don't think that's going to happen because when that becomes a reality, Half-Life 3 will get announced.
We'll keep you guys updated on the topic as we learn more, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait.
Well, we've not talked about anything bad in gaming for a while, and that was sort of on purpose because games are supposed to be fun, right?
Are we just putting all the balls in here or something? Once again, I'm just supposed to magically know what we're doing, even though the game has absolutely no explanation for anything.
Unfortunately, games aren't always Doritos and Mountain Dew, especially when everyone's favorite ruiner of games, the Embracer Group, is involved. In their latest mishap, the legendary dev team behind games like Gothic and Risen has apparently shut down.
We say apparently because it's been one of those things that has been a long time coming. You see, Pirhana Bytes has been in a constant state of flux for a long time, only really keeping afloat for various investors who appreciated and wanted to help keep them afloat. But of course, that was going to come to an end, and after some time, Embracer Group stated that they would only continue funding until 2024. So sadly, Pirhana Bytes has officially closed its doors.
On a slightly related note, our Polish friend Violet Dev gave us a story about an apparently hilarious Polish mod for Gothic that was just released. According to him, the mod dubbed the entirety of the game in the Slask accent.
Śląski.
Yeah, I think. According to him, Slask's accent are unique in that they all apparently sound like Spurdonese.
Skończy dupcyć. Zamrzyj się! Dobra, ściepujcie go.
I mean, this really isn't important to anyone that's not Polish, but it's still pretty funny.
Eben, even. The next story has a bit of a backstory as it's about a game that's been in development for 22 years. That makes it the game with the longest development cycle ever.
So back in 2002, 5 Italian guys decided they were going to be the first company in Italy to make a video game for the GBA. Unfortunately, they only had a few $100, no experience whatsoever, and no programmer. Just a love for video games and a dream.
So for the next 2 years, they worked day and night on their overly ambitious GBA game called Kien? Kine? Something like that. Anyway, it was supposed to be a non-linear RPG game. In fact, the head developer, Fabio Belsanti, likens it to a primordial Dark Souls. Anyway, spoiler, the game didn't come out.
Yeah, unfortunately, after the grind of trying to make a game took its toll on the 5 guys, life just started getting in the way for them. Everyone just gave up. All of them except Fabio, who held tight onto his game and refused to give up. Which paid off because as of this year, or really even this month, the game is now available for purchase for the Gameboy Advance for $60.
So why did the game take 22 years to make? That part was kind of a fib. The game was technically finished ages ago. The only reason it was never released is because publishers who were interested would back out because at the time it cost something around $15 to make a single GBA cartridge, which was a steep risk.
Despite no one picking up his game, he continued to persevere. Not out of spite, but because of a fascination he had with early Renaissance tales from Italy. Obviously. We're talking about stuff like knights, mercenary companies, stuff like that. But it was specifically because all of those stories were lost to time that he kept going. And it is in fact his fascination with lost stories that serves as the basis for Kine's story. Anyway, because of his perseverance and because of the sudden reinvigorated interest in retro games, he was able to find his current new publisher, Incubate. Oh, Incubate. Oh, I get it now.
And thankfully, Incubate seems to be taking this seriously, as Kine ships with full packaging, box art, and even a manual. Do you guys remember manuals?
I do. That's how I knew Dirge Cerberus has mouse and keyboard support, making it a really fun game.
In more good indie game news, the developer of Palworld Pocket Pair has signed a deal with Sony to form a new business called Palworld Entertainment. Now, before everyone starts moaning and groaning about this, we looked into it and it's not an acquisition nor a publishing deal. Additionally, it doesn't even look like it's a partnership with the video game division of Sony.
She's right. It's just a deal with Sony to make non-video game products, like OSTs, plushies, shirt, basically doing what the Pokemon company does with Pokemon, but with Sony. And this is actually a very good thing because outside of the PlayStation, Sony does do good stuff. And also, I might be able to get a Lunaris vinyl. I would like a Lunaris vinyl figure.
Why do you sound so weird?
But that's not all. It turns out that there are already plushies. Look at them. You can get a Depresso, a Cativa, a Chillet, This is how the Palworld Empire starts. The final story this week is just some new upcoming game announcements. There isn't a whole lot of meat to these, so we'll just quickly go through them.
First up, we have Double Dragon, which is a classic game that's getting a 3D game developed by Arc System Works. That's the company behind Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball FighterZ, DFO, and many other fighting games that everyone loves.
Next up, Nintendo has surprised everyone for releasing a teaser trailer on their official YouTube channel and website of a new horror game simply known to everyone as Emio. Many people are very confused of this, unsure of what it could be, because I guess no one has heard of Deathmark. Because, please, guys, that's exactly what this is. This is Deathmark. It's the same font and art style. Guys, come on.
Finally, Frontier has announced that they'll be releasing the full trailer for their game, Planet Coaster 2, which should be out by the end of the week. And that's all for this week's news.
This week's Buried Alive Banger, a segment where we cover a game our community doesn't think has had enough attention, comes to us from our friend Palswick, and is called Mouthhole.
Mouthhole is a classic PS1 style puzzle game where you live in a psycho-spherical house. You solve puzzles in the surreal world as you unravel mysteries to forge convoluted paths of discovery and exploration. Navigate quotidian existence, whatever that means. Crawl into your mouth and brush your teeth. What?
I don't know. This game looks like a fucking trip. I'm gonna play it.
And here are the games coming out this week.
The only one I really care about is Kunitsugami, which is the new Capcom game that looks really pretty and demony and basically looks like Onimusha. Yeah, I'm gonna be buying that game for sure. And here's our schedule for the week. Ninja Gaiden by myself on Wednesday to reclaim my honor, and then Ellie's gonna be doing Alien on Thursday and Sunday because she wants to get through the game.
And that's it for this week's Necro News. If you like what we do here and want to keep up to date, subscribe to the channel. And once again, thank you guys so much for 10,000 subs.
If you watch the video all the way to the end, instead of posting an emote this week, say something like, "Oh my god, Ellie, how could you say that? How deplorable."
And we'd like to give a very special thank you to all of our channel members. If you want to join these awesome dudes and want to see your name up on the screen, you should become a member. Members will be getting a sneak peek of my new live 2D model, and we'll be posting more member exclusive videos like bloopers and extra news content.
And on that note, we're over a quarter of a way to Ellie's live 2D model goal. We both agree it's very sweet of everyone who has helped us so far, and we will be doing a bit of a donathon at some point soon. But to help us out, click the link below and we'll get us closer to having Ellie play the entirety of Kingdom Hearts.
And that's all for this week. So until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.